Mate, there's been a lot happening, and I have no doubt that'll keep happening. Super. Just to start, I'm sure. I know Warren's been predicting a few other things to happen. So, and taxes to increase more, governments to crack down a lot more areas, as I'm sure you're predicting the same thing, Stephen. So there'll be plenty more.
I can tell you now, bracket creep won't get adjusted, so more people will move up the tax scale. Capital gains will get changed. And as I've said before, I think it was last week I was talking about you're better off as a foreign investor than a local investor here because of the way we tax capital gains. Even in America, they tax capital gains at a flat 20%, right? And if your business is in the business, if you're in the business of capital gains, you pretty much only pay 2 or 3%. So you can, the American tax system is actually way better than ours. In a lot of areas, it's the area that it's really shit is because it's a worldwide net based on your citizenship. So there's that. So they won't adjust bracket creep. So more and more people will get caught in taxation. So that means that your tax is going to go higher. They probably won't change the actual progressive tax rates. They'll change things like capital gains, fringe benefits, tax, which is an evil tax, stamp duty on property. Now, the regime in New South Wales where they're going from a stamp duty to a land tax, it does look like that it's better on the surface to pay the land tax only if you're thinking short term, right? If you're playing what most Australian property people play is, I'll own this for 5 years, flip it, go and buy something else. Now, if you're thinking the long-term strategy where I'm going to buy this property today, but I'm never going to sell it, you're better off paying the stamp duty now than the stamp duty on what you'd pay in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years time, because of the increase that would happen in that property. You would pay a lot more over the life of you holding that property in land tax. So it's an interesting one that the land tax benefits short-termism, doesn't benefit long-term holdings and long-term wealth generation, like passing land on from down 20 generations. So it's a weird one. Once again, we live in short-termism world. So you'll watch most policies that generate money. And the short-termism of land tax, I reckon that the government gets a better flow of cash, better cash flow than it does with stamp duty. Because I could see stamp duty being this, where in their, if you have a look at their revenue figures, stamp duty is going to be like this because property's up, property's down, property's up, property's down, property's up, property's down. But for a government, a land tax is going to be revenue like this because it's just going to be the same year after year, and as your property increases, your land tax increases, and so forth and so on. So it's a better revenue generator for the government than stamp duty. So that's an area. Watch that. They're going to change that a hell of a lot. They will then start widening the GST. I believe that the GST will end up being 12 to 15%, maybe even 18 to 20%, as it is in some European countries, and on everything, right? Purely and simply because the whole stupidity of the younger generations, they just don't understand that how the GST should work. I do believe that the GST should be on everything, but it should be at like 5%. Right. Put it at 5%, put it on every transaction and get rid of income tax. The government will have more money than you know what to do with. But what do you do with, 1.3 million tax accountants? All of a sudden you lose a whole industry that is built around tax. That's why Australia will never go to a flat tax. is because the services, the people that become unemployed overnight is just horrendous.